The third habit of 7 habits of highly effective dog owners inside of an urban setting is to focus on the fundamentals. The fundamentals of dog ownership are 3 things, very simple. They are exercise, the boundaries and disciplines that you put on the dog, and then affection. It's important that you understand that that is the order from most important to least important. Exercise is number 1 for the dog, disciplines and boundaries are number 2, and then affection is number 3. If I had to give a formula for balancing this out, you need to give 3 parts exercise to 2 parts boundaries and disciplines, and 1 part affection. Most people mess this up with their dog when they do 5 parts affection, 1 part's exercise, and no parts boundaries and disciplines. Well, if that is your recipe for a cake and you just dump in a lot of sugar, but you don't have the yeast and the flour in there to make the cake, you're going to have just a pile of sugar and it's going to taste terrible. Well, similar to a dog, you can't just give affection all the time. The fundamentals that every dog needs to have need to focus on exercise at the top, and then boundaries and disciplines, and then affection. If you know the personality of your dog, you are going to know exactly how much exercise you are able to give to the dog, or need to give to the dog, which is most important. It's not what we say, it's what your dog needs specifically. Talk to a professional. If you need an evaluation, if you live in Pittsburgh and need an evaluation of your dog, let me know and I'd be happy to give that to you. The key is giving the dog what it needs exercise-wise, because there is no other way to bring the dog's energy level down unless you exercise the dog. Most people that live in an urban setting will mess up their dog and really hurt themselves inside of their environment by not exercising the dog. Most complaints we get from leasing managers, most of the neighbor challenges we get from, or questions that we get from neighbors of people that own dogs, all relate to energy and excess energy from the dog. The dog is barking, the dog is whining, the dog is biting on things, chewing things, ripping things up, nipping at other people, jumping on people. Most of those activities are related to excess dog energy. Well, guess what? Exercise is the best way to bring that energy level down. A tired dog, a dog that is laying with its 4 legs on the side, laying on the floor, usually doesn't bite, usually doesn't whine, usually doesn't jump on people. So get in the habit of exercise being a key component of your daily activities. Now, the other fundamental disciplines and boundaries are simply just asking your dog to pay attention, not letting it jump on people, basically asking it to pay attention to you first before it gets into everything. Those moments of slowing the dog down and asking it to pay attention to you first, as opposed to just going out into the world and doing whatever it wants to do, will help the dog pay attention. It'll burn off some mental energy and it'll help the dog to focus on you. So not only will it be safe for you, it'll be safe for the dog because it looks to you first, as opposed to looking out in the world and interacting with the world as the dog sees fit. As you know, sometimes, depending on the dog's personality, that can be dangerous. It can be embarrassing at the most. It can be dangerous on the high end, depending on what situations the dog is putting itself in. The third piece of the fundamentals is affection. Typically, this focuses around 4 things: touching, talking, eye contact, and food. Giving affection at the appropriate times is very important for your dog. You want to reward, using those 4 pieces, you want to reward the states. S-T-A-T-E-S, states. Like, what state am I in? You want to use those to reward the state that you want to repeat in your dog. I have a lot more videos on that. You can check that out. But using affection appropriately is very important. What most people do, again, is they give too much affection, not enough exercise, not enough discipline. Here's its quick and simple rule. I don't know you, I don't know your dog. Simple tip is simply just to, if you can, everybody in the world can exercise their dog for an hour and a half every day minimum, you will probably solve about 80% of behavior problems in your dog. So figure out a way to get an hour and a half of exercise for your dog every day, every single day, 365 days a year, and you will have a nice, healthy, tired, and happy dog.